Yo, what's up? I'm Roccy. Usually you'd hear Flynn Johnson jumping in there, but he's off having a baby. Oh, baby. Oh, my God. Big shout out to Danielle, Kaylin, and Flynn on the new arrival. Look, man, it's all downhill from here, so enjoy it while you can. Today is going to be a little bit different because Flynn the Windy ain't here. Ain't nobody praying for me. Flynn ain't here, so I'm here with a good friend of mine, James Pennie, a.k.a. Pennie, which you've heard me talk about on the podcast loads of times. Yeah, we're going to chat it up, talk about whatever. Yeah, it's going to be some crack. Make sure you like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Keep sharing. Send Flynn your congrats on the new baby, Kaylin. And yeah, let's dive in. How long do we know each other?
Jesus.
How old are you now? Do you mind me asking?
38.
38?
Yeah.
Am I joking?
Only gone 38.
Not what joking.
In September, but I remember you.
What am I, 35? You're 38.
Yeah, you
So
moved
what?
in like down on the shop hill there. I don't know. I think used to be Darren Whelan was there, but
Yeah.
I think I was about 12, 13 when you
Were you?
moved in. I think so. I
Yeah.
can't remember the specific age, but
Yeah.
we know each other a long time, yeah.
Long time.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Huh?
long time.
2 life sentences.
It fucking is, isn't it?
Like a married couple, Pen.
Jeez. That's it.
Let me just introduce. This is James Pennie, aka Pennie. As you heard him, we know each other 20 odd years. We both come from Ladies Well. He's slightly older than me, slightly more handsome, more rugged. He has a bit of a Gerard Butler vibe off him. But sure, look, yeah, look, we're gonna yap it up and see what comes out of the conversation. We might get deep, we might cry, we might hold hands. Who knows? But yeah, James Pennie, welcome to Gobsmacked.
Good to be here, man. Yeah, chuffed.
I noticed I didn't
Long
actually
time
say
coming.
it. Do you know, I actually didn't say it in the fucking intro.
What?
Usually say it in the intro. Welcome to Gobsmacked, the show where we talk about growing up and everything in between.
Ah,
do you want to do it? Go on, do it.
Yeah.
Go on.
Now?
Yeah, go on.
What's the crack? I'm Penn.
I'm Roccy, and this is Gobsmacked, the show where we talk about growing up
And everything in between.
Yeah, man. So we know each other 20 odd years.
20 plus years.
We
yeah.
weren't palling around though from day one, weren't we? Not.
I can't
'Cause you were
remember.
slightly older than the rest
I
of
was
us, so,
slightly
yeah.
older, and I probably had my other mates
Yeah,
from
yeah.
around the back Carpo and Mackie and all them
Yeah,
boys.
yeah.
But
Shout out Carpo, I know he listens.
yeah, I probably started hanging around with you when I was about 15, 16. I would
No
say.
way.
Yeah, 14 or 15 it was. Yeah.
Was that when there was like fucking... Do you remember when there used to be about 20 of us?
Yeah, more
Do
than
you remember?
that, fucking 40 of us or something.
do you remember?
Yeah, it was gas.
Like I've said on this podcast loads of times, like to Evan, that like there literally used to be the guts. I'd say probably the guts of 30 of us at one point.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people think I do be exaggerating, but I'm not.
Yeah, no, sure. I do be always listening, and I'm like, just remember that deadly crack.
Oh, the good days.
Deadly days, deadly. But I was thinking of stuff there, listening to the podcast now a while, and just laughing me. Fuck, it's gas, man. Like, jeez, remember that?
I know we were talking
Deadly
before we started recording. We were talking about the time when I got fucking stabbed with the
The
I got stabbed in
fucking
the face
yeah,
and-
we
and
totally
the neck
forgot
and all.
about that until
Yeah,
you
it
brought
was-
it up. I was like, jeez, remember that time?
Did I-
Jeez, that was mad that night, man.
Did I say you were there?
Yeah,
on the pod?
yeah.
Did I? Right. I wasn't too sure if I mentioned
me
you
and,
were there. And Gok's brother.
Alan, yeah.
Yeah. That was a mad
I
night.
was like, what? Then just clicked. Yeah, I was like, oh, jeez, yeah, remember that?
That was a mad night. That
Ah,
was.
nuts.
We've had some serious
The
nights.
few nights over in that heaven place, man.
I've said it on this before. Like it was mad. Like me and you were never the closest growing up. You know what I mean? Because there was
Yeah.
loads of us. Like there was
Loads,
fucking
like
30 of us. We
had
all
our
had
own cliques, like,
we had
yeah,
our own
yeah,
little pockets
yeah,
of
yeah.
people. Like we were all
Yeah.
mates. You know what I mean? We'd
Yeah.
never let anything happen to each other. Like, do you know what I mean? We'd all look out for each other. But
Yeah.
within our little circle, we all had like little fucking
That's it,
pockets.
yeah,
Like it was always
yeah.
me and Pud, or me and Ricky, or me, Mark, Gurk, and Rick.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
It was
yeah.
always that kind of
Ah,
crack,
no,
like for
yeah,
me,
yeah.
like. And then the same with Rick and that. It was Rick, Dara, and Ushin, and
Collie.
Do you know what I
Collie
mean?
as
It
well,
was,
yeah,
they
yeah.
had their own little clique,
Yeah.
and then the same as
It was
you,
more
like you,
me,
Berto.
Chunk, Pato,
Yeah.
Berto, Tony. Yeah, yeah.
It's mad.
But
Like,
do you know what the funny thing was? I
Go on.
was just thinking of it. We never used to knock into houses. We all knew if we just walked around to the fucking pole, somebody was
Somebody
there.
there.
Like, all right, boys.
oh, you just find
It was
Chunk.
great. Yeah.
You just find Chunk.
Yeah, see him around somewhere. Like, I was gas.
Chunk
when
fella
it
had
was.
knock for you,
No
and-
matter what, like,
Gas.
gas. They
Gas.
were the days, man. Seriously, I had a great time growing up in Ladies, well, like, now,
Yeah,
have
man,
to say,
same.
really was a good time. Like,
Yeah, I'd never change it. I think it's you know as much good times and bad times that I've had there. Like I'd never change that sort of upbringing. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Now I know, like I always say it on here, like with my kids, they'll never know that type of life. Do you know what I mean? Because that's gone now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like me and Danny work hard for the life
That's
we
it.
have now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'd love to. I'd love Dory and Barley to have that kind of street
Like
smart
the
in them.
close knit type of thing, the street smarts.
the street
yeah,
smarts,
yeah.
and to have that kind of growing up, like you know, like have that fucking experience as a kid, like when we were kids. Look, the stuff we got up to was a bit naughty, like, but some of the other stuff we got up to
It
was
was
just
deadly crack, like.
going through forests and
Having the
climbing
buzz,
trees
like,
and
yeah,
making
exactly.
tree houses and whatever. You know what I mean? It was fucking
walking
innocent.
the black
some of it.
pipe, man, fucking.
Yeah, throwing each other off into
Yeah.
the river. I feel like kids now don't do that. Like
Yeah,
they don't
no,
do that.
It's all their phones and their.
I was around to her ma's the other night, yeah, and there's these kids, like there's a green beside her ma's house. And there's a couple of kids after, you know, robbing a bit of wood and that out of the fucking building site beside them. They're building a base.
No way,
I
deadly.
haven't seen a base since
stop.
we were, about 15, 16?
Easily, yeah.
Since the time, I was saying it on this pod before, the one we built at...
That big whopper one.
Yeah.
In the field.
At the back of Cardiff School.
Cardiff Path.
The one
like,
Mariano burnt down, remember?
Yeah, yeah.
Fucking hell. That was one of the best
That
bases
base
we
was
ever built.
deadly, man.
Fuck me.
That was
That was a granny
chippy.
flat.
Chippy work it was.
Yeah,
That.
it was a granny flat.
Roof and
Remember
all.
we
and
stole all the lead off the...
Yeah, off the Cardiff School.
Thousands of
All
fucking...
the timber, man.
Thousands of
and all,
euro worth of fucking
hell.
equipment. We
It
stole out
was
there, remember?
easy. Was lead wrapped around it, all the fucking
Fucking-
plywood all up the sides.
Fucking gas.
Deadly base. That
was one of the best
nights
bases we
we
ever
had
built.
in there, man.
No.
Oh, bleed.
That was when
sitting
yous were
there
all-
fucking.
You were all starting to smoke weed for the first time, remember?
Yeah.
There
Well,
in the car graveyard. Remember
Yeah.
up the car graveyard as well?
up in the van.
The little van?
That's where I first learned how to roll a joint.
Yeah, remember
Up
the night you
there,
got
yeah.
the greenies? Do you remember that
Whoa,
night?
Which one?
The first night?
Ah, fucking stop, man.
I'll never forget that
Jesus.
first. Who was there? It was me, you, Pado and all that. I think majority of the boys were there.
Ah,
Little
yeah, it
Anto Cal was there.
Easily.
Loads of us. And we were all hotboxing.
Yeah.
Closed the doors and we were hotboxing. Or what we
Big
thought was
cloud of
hotboxing.
smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all the boys
trying to
got
hotbox
green.
in a bleeding torch out van with
A
no
little
windows.
high
And no
burnt down
windows.
high ace.
Yeah. All the smoke escaping anyway.
Fucking gas that
Oh,
was.
it was
Never forget
gas,
it. Your
all that.
face was like bright fucking green.
Oh,
It's like an
man.
apple.
That was just nasty. I remember getting out of the van and just like when the fresh air hit me, I was just like, whoa. Just,
I remember. Your whole face was
Just
green.
sick everywhere. It was like, what's
Was it
wrong
you
with you?
and,
Think I'm dying?
Who else was it? Who else got the greens? I think it was Keith Clark got the greens that night as well.
Ah, maybe.
Someone else,
Can't
one of the
remember
younger lads
exactly
got
who
it.
it was, but it was fucking. It was a bad buzz. I
Do you
was
still
there.
smoke weed now?
No, off everything.
You're off everything now, is it?
Everything.
Jesus.
I'm off substances 3.5 years now.
3.5 years? Is that how long it is?
I only stopped smoking like last year and a half, but everything else.
Smoking
I'm off 3 years. Cigarettes. Yeah.
Fuck me, 3.5 years.
Yeah, 3.5 years. Yeah, it was June 8th. June 8th, 2019 was my
Yeah, it was just pre-COVID, wasn't
was
it?
my
Just before
last
COVID,
alcoholic beverage.
Yeah.
To say, yeah.
yeah. And how do you feel now?
Great. Life is completely different.
Your life has taken a 180. I was only talking to
Ah,
Danielle
big time.
last night about it. Like when we were saying we were going to sit down for the chat, and I was saying I can't
Scary.
wait
Yeah.
because I was saying like your life. Because she was like, "Oh, does he drive?" And I said, "Yeah, he's driving ages, you mad."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Fuck off." I said, "Yeah, he's driving and all now, you mad joke."
Yeah.
Chap's married.
Should have been driving
Fucking-
since I was at 17, but
Well, we were driving, just not legally.
I had other things to occupy my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It must be completely different now, though.
Ah,
Do you
nuts,
miss
man.
it?
No,
Be honest now.
No. For the first probably 6 months to a year, I was close to relapsing.
Were you
A
really?
fair few times, yeah.
Find it tough,
I
yeah?
was just missing the buzz, going out with the boys.
Yeah.
Just sitting there, getting stoned, basically.
Yeah.
See,
Just taking the pressure off kind of thing.
yeah, see what I was basically, I found this out like when I was in treatment that I was basically using to push down all my feelings, and I didn't like who I was,
Yeah.
and I was using that to escape that,
Mm.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah, of course.
I'd say it's a lot for people who are struggling.
Mm.
Addicts would be probably feeling the same, but when I went into treatment, I got this all out.
Yeah.
I was in therapy for five solid weeks, group sessions of therapy every single day, 2 times a day. I was meditating, everything, but I was in there for about a week and a half, and I was here like, this is a load of bollocks.
Oh, were you really?
They don't know what.
Yeah.
But one day the counsellor just pulled me aside. We had a good chat, and I basically went to bed that night, and I couldn't sleep, and just everything was going through my mind, just the way it was, what my life was like. I was 35 and had like absolutely nothing to show for it. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely nothing to show for it.
No, I get that.
I was gone, wasted my whole life, like.
Yeah.
And then I just started crying up in the room. I was like, what? Yeah, I was crying.
Yeah.
Basically, I was
wrong with that,
very depressed. But the next morning, I got stuck into the whole counselling therapy thing, and my life has just done a complete 180, yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, I remember when I came up to see you. What was that? That was probably halfway in with you?
That was halfway through, yeah.
Halfway through. You were like a completely different person.
Yeah, no.
The stammer and all was gone.
And yeah, well, it was
gone a
still
good bit,
it was still there a bit, but I like when I was using, I didn't care about the stammer.
Yeah.
I just didn't care about anything whatsoever.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Just like, what's the point? Like, fuck this.
Well, it takes
Life is shite,
it kills everything, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah,
it kills all your
yeah.
feelings, like
Your
emotion.
completely
or whatever,
numbed me. I was like, I probably started using when I was 13, like.
Yeah.
Not hard stuff, hash. And
Yeah, of course.
smoking, but
The odd tablets here and there, I remember.
yeah. But after, my life was good, like up to a point. But after what happened with Gork, after that whole thing, I think my whole life just started to unravel. I just didn't get like why it all happened, and
Yeah.
it was just a bad time.
Were
Like,
you out with him that night? Were you out with him that night?
I wasn't, but I was supposed to drop around to the house.
Yeah, I was supposed to go around as well.
I
and I never
did. It was out somewhere else.
did. Yeah.
I think it was in heaven or something.
Yeah.
But after that, my speech started to get worse again. Didn't give a shit about that, like, and then everything just gradually got worse and worse and worse and worse. I was sitting around smoking weed probably 24/7, like.
Jesus.
I'd be going to bed at like about 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Waking up for work at 6, 6:30, having a joint, and then heading to work, like,
Just running on autopilot.
Just, I wasn't safe to people in work. I could have killing somebody.
Yeah, especially.
I could have killing myself in work, because work in construction, like, but everything was just like a blur. I just didn't care anymore.
Yeah.
Just got worse and worse, and I think my stammer, like, was a big part of what drove me deeper into addiction, like.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like, look, we were all little pricks growing up. Now, I don't know if I ever took the piss out of you.
I don't
You're a
think so.
slammer. Because it wasn't in me. I was never
Like,
one of those people. But I know other lads did, and I knew it affected you. Do you know what I mean?
I never really minded you was taking the piss because I knew
it wasn't malicious.
Harmful
It wasn't malicious.
fun, like, but other people used to torment me, and I used to be picked on because of it.
Yeah.
Was made fun of, laughed at. It wasn't very nice. And I pushed that all down using the drugs and drink, and then it just all came to a head then.
Yeah. Well, there's
only 3 years ago. Like,
there's only so much water you can put in a glass and it before it spills out. Like, you know what I mean? No, I remember them days. I know who you're talking about. I used to take the piss out because I remember. Was it Ricky or was it Collie? One of the boys. I remember one time. I don't know if you remember. I think we were at the school gates across from my ma's house. We were playing football. I'll never forget it because I was like, oh shit. You know what I mean? This is serious because it was one of the older lads.
Yeah.
One of the older boys in the estate. He was saying something to you and you could see that you got really upset over it, right? And I think you walked off, right? You went off. And he was still saying, I'm almost convinced it was Ricky. Sorry, man, I'm terrible with my memory.
Oh, no, yeah.
But I'm almost convinced it was Ricky. Stood up to him. I was like, yeah, you need to fucking relax, like, blah, blah, blah. But the two of them are going to kill each other. And I was like, shit. Because it was like, these are the older boys that you don't fight with. Do you know what I mean?
No,
and the Rick fella was going in, like, head first, like, fucking, you know what I mean? You need to stop, like, it's not fucking funny anymore.
Yeah, no, fair play to Rick for that.
I remember it was either Ricky or Collie, one of the lads. And it almost came to blows, and then it kind of calmed down. Then I think, but I think that was one of the worst times I seen them with you, like because it was awful. Because they were giving chunk abuse first, and then they moved on to you, and I was like, oh for fuck's sake, this shit again. Like it was awful. Like no wonder that fucking turns you to drink more and like, take harder drugs. Like of course it would. It'd do that to anybody.
Yeah, no, it was nasty, but I actually remember that day and who that was,
I know exactly who it was,
That wasn't a nice time, that, but I'd say probably from the time it was about, 9 or 10, I was always picked on, like, cause
same boys, like, no?
It wasn't always the same boys, but it would be sometimes it was a couple of girls. He would be doing it as well, like, and
completely knocks the confidence, I'd say.
Yeah, my confidence, my self-esteem was just like gone completely. Like but for some reason, I went onto a speech therapy program when it was about 14. It was in third year, like.
I remember that.
Yeah, 14.
I used to go to that,
and my speech got very good, as it is now. It was very good, but one of the main things was that, like, taking that deep breath,
take your time,
talking slowly. But I was afraid to do that around all the youths for some reason. Don't know why. Probably just because I was afraid, like, you would have been taking the piss and saying that you sound like a robot or something, like. But
and we were all hyper as fuck.
I know.
What was going on.
I know.
Full of bleeding sugar.
I know, like, one person who definitely would have took the piss out of me. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Say the name at the same time, right? 1, 2, 3.
Dean. Yeah, I know. Harmless. He was having the crack.
He was a torment about anything.
He would have just annihilated me, but I would have took it well, but I just didn't want to be doing that around anybody, and I stopped using that then when I just got deeper into drugs and drink, and my speech just gradually got worse and worse and worse, and then my confidence was gone again, self-esteem was gone. I wouldn't be saying what I wanted to say, like when we were all in circles and having the crack, like, and
of course.
Like, I wanted to chip in loads of times, but I just couldn't get the words out, and I was like, just have a drink, have a smoke.
No, I get that.
Like,
I get that.
Yeah.
I remember a couple of bad times. One of the worst times I've ever seen you was the time we were down Waterford. Do you remember that? I don't know if you remember.
Can't remember that. Jeez,
You were really bad in Waterford.
Like,
we all went down. Remember when Danielle, Melissa,
for
was
Mark
there,
Smith.
and Mark was there.
Mark Smith, yeah.
Do you remember that night?
I remember that weekend.
That was a dark
yeah,
out night. That was a really bad night.
That was nasty. Yeah.
I remember saying to Rick, I was like, you need to. I remember you and Rick were having a bit of an argument or something. I says, Rick, man, you need to go in there and apologise. Like, this fucking, something's going on here. I remember he was. No, I remember the two of you were at each other the whole day, and then at night then. Because remember we had that scrap in the nightclub. We were in the nightclub. And we all had a big fight with a load of lads from Waterford.
Yeah,
so we all had a big scrap and then left.
Yeah,
but I remember just came to a head.
Actually, yeah.
I remember it all came to a head when we got back to the apartment, and you and Ricky were just fucking round at each other.
Yeah.
And I remember going into the room to you. You're in the room on your own because I was a little bit worried, like, do you know what I mean? So I went into you, and I remember you were traipsing around. You were just walking up and down. I'm like, Pen, man, you all right?
Yeah,
and you were just saying mad stuff, and I'm like, Pen, man, are you okay? And you were like, oh, I just need to sleep. Yeah. And I was like, all right. I says, look, I'll come back into you and check on you. And you were like, oh, I'm grand. And you were trying to make a joke of it, but I knew, I knew fucking you were upset, like, do you know what I mean?
It was like,
so I remember I went out to Rick and I says, Rick, man, you need to go in there and apologise to him. Like, you need to just go in there and just sort something out, like. And he goes, oh, I will. So I went back in to check on you, and you were passed out, like. But it was a bad one. Do you know what I mean?
It was bad, because I remember, like,
it was probably one of. I think that was the last time I seen you.
I'd say it would have been. Yeah, because that wasn't that long ago.
Yeah,
I think that was about 5 years ago.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Wasn't too long after.
It wasn't too long ago. It was really about 5 years ago, and the only reason I remember this is because it was the debut of Salah. And he's there 5 years, so yeah. I remember, like, it was Berto, Ushy and Tony. We got the train down.
Yeah.
And we were drinking like since 8:30 in the morning.
Early hours.
And I got into the pub then about 12:30 was, and it was like, right, going on a mad one. Just straight to the toilet and just as you do with the fucking bang bang. And from that moment at 12:30, just all the way through to that night, like, I was like,
all yous were fucked
out of my bicky.
Because we got down there, me, Ricky, Melissa and Danielle drove down. Rick drove us down.
Yeah.
So we drove down, but we followed you down a bit later, and it was in we didn't get there till about 2:30, 3 or something, because we fucked off down Tremor and had a little day.
Because
and then we met up with you. You were all out. You was bleeding face.
Out of face. Yeah, we were all in the pub playing pool, and fucking just swamping the pints, fucking whiskey.
No.
Whatever it was, a few shots, man. It was like we were like just treating it as a holiday type.
Yeah, that's what it was like, wasn't it? It was a big day out.
It was like going a pure bender, like, pure bender. Like,
the boys on tour.
I remember I had like a lot of the other stuff, probably size of that.
Yeah.
Size of a...
Like bigger than a €2 coin?
Much bigger than
like
a €2 coin.
Like a golf ball?
Yeah, size of a golf ball it was. Yeah. And just like...
of coke?
Yeah. And I basically done most of that myself.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah.
See, I never knew you were that.
I was a hungry fuck.
Nah, look, you were fucking...
I wanted
you were doing
drugs,
it for other... You were doing it for other reasons.
Yeah.
Because I never knew you were that bad. I think that night was the worst I seen you. Because me and you have been out plenty of times together.
Loads of times.
Just like me and you. Like, just me, you, Pud. Me, you and Gork. Me, you, Gork and Pud. Yeah. Me, you and Danielle. Remember, we've been out a couple of times. Been in town and that. Remember when she got spiked and all that?
We went to the hip-hop night.
That was the night she got spiked, remember?
Yeah.
We've been out loads of times. Yeah. And I was always just like, I was always under the assumption, he does a bit, like, but he doesn't have a problem, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't until later on, like, where it was like, right, something's wrong here, like, you know. But you know, it's one of those things, man. I remember talking to you about it before, like after those nights, And it's like, I can't tell you that you have a problem. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
Like, like nobody can.
Nobody can.
Nobody can. You
Have
just
to
gotta
see it themselves.
You gotta
yeah.
figure it out yourself. Unfortunately, you know what
I
I mean.
know, was yeah.
And
yeah.
unfortunately, it's only a handful that do figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I know. See, I wouldn't say luck got me because I was caught for something, but
Yeah.
I was sitting in a cell like for about 12 hours.
Mm.
And that was my rock bottom. Like, I just broke
That was
down.
your like, fuck this.
That was my life saying, cop on, or you're either going to end up out on the streets or in a hole.
Yeah, yeah.
And what are you going to do now? This is your moment to turn it around. So
Yeah.
I got home that next day and had a meeting with my family, and I just broke down and said, I need help. I'm an addict. There's something seriously wrong here.
Yeah.
My mind is just messed up, and fortunately, Brian was clean himself at the time. I think it was clean about. What was he? 2013. He was clean about six years. Like, so,
Yeah.
I was able to get help off of him, but I was lucky I had him because he helped me an awful lot.
Yeah, he's been through it.
Yeah,
He's been through it.
yeah. But the people he knew, like he was able to get me in touch with people, and then they helped me out a lot.
Yeah.
And then that was the time, like,
That must have
I
been.
was able to get into the Rutland Centre.
That must have been tougher than that to do that in front of your family. Like,
Ah, it was horrible. I remember, like, I was at home the next day because I took a couple of days off work, and me dad came up and he said, "Are you okay?"
yeah,
And I just like broke down crying in front of him.
it's one of the worst things that
was
someone can
like-
say to you, isn't it? Like when you're
Yeah.
that bad, like when someone
Yeah,
turns
I
around and
was
says,
here,
"Are you all
look,
right?"
I'm really sorry, but I'm an addict and I owe out a lot of money. I'm in serious trouble and I need help.
Yeah,
And just to see the pain on his face when I said that, it was just like 10 times worse for me then.
yeah.
Because, oh jeez,
You're all right.
crying,
You're all right.
fucking, like to see, he hadn't a clue that
Yeah.
I was going through all of that. And it really upset him, and then I was very upset more, and then, yeah, just had a good chat though after that, and we sorted it out. Like, they helped me. Me dad helped me a lot to get into the treatment centre. Me sister and Wayne helped me a lot as well. Like, so,
Yeah.
like, I basically missed the first few years of my godson's life
Yeah.
because of addiction. Yeah.
Well, you missed about 35 years of your own life.
Yeah.
The guts off. Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
but I felt like that was what I needed to get through that or something. But missing out on his first 3 years, like, I was there, but I wasn't really there.
Yeah, you were there in body, but in mind you were fucking
I wasn't
gone,
really
like,
there for
yeah.
him, like, you know.
No, I get
Anybody.
that
I
100%,
wasn't there
yeah.
for anyone.
Yeah.
Anybody.
Yeah. It's good that you have that support system, though. Do you know what I mean?
I was.
Because most
very
families
good,
would just be like, "Look, it's your own fault." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Good luck.
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
go and sort it out yourself. Like, thank God they were there, and of course you had Brian that was already been through it. So,
Yeah.
you know, they were sort of, I wouldn't say used to it, but you know what I mean. For lack
Yeah.
of a better term, they were kind of. They've all been through it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? As well as Brian, and you've been through it with Brian.
Yeah, no,
Because
because
it's kind of like, well, you know, we kind of have an idea of what to do here. You know what I mean? We know how to handle it. Like,
and it's
you know what I mean?
funny saying that, like, because we went down to see Brian when he was going through treatment, and I was here like, I'm never going to end up like this.
Yeah,
He's an agent, all.
we all say that.
And then
we all say that, man.
I didn't even see it creeping up
Yeah.
on me. It crept in slowly, but I could see it. I could see it kind of happening because like we were going out for nights and all, and I would always sneak off home.
Yeah.
I would sneak off home, and I'd sit up till about 6 in the morning, sniffing coke, smoking weed, just watching the watching the Royal Rumbles from years ago, and
Watching the
was
WWE.
watching all of it, yeah, because I always had aspirations of being a professional wrestler, but I couldn't do it because of me stutter. So,
yeah.
but I used to like just sit there sniffing and smoking weed and just like, yeah, this buzz is deadly, isn't it?
Yeah.
Talking to myself like,
Fuck's sake. Yeah.
what, mad like. And then I'd wake up in a big daze, do another 1 or 2 hits, and then go up the off or straight down the pub like shanty or something, a few points with the lads. Yeah, madness like.
And you never seen it, like you never.
I
You
could
just thought,
kind of,
sure.
I could kind of see it like I said. Nobody see. I seen it like when I was out with the lads doing it and socialising. I didn't see it as a problem. I
Yeah.
thought like
It's a bit of crack.
it's social. You see, I don't deal with during the week or during work, but
Yeah.
I was smoking weed now, but I wasn't doing the other stuff like during work, but I could see that as not a problem because I was with people. But I could see it like starting to become a problem when I was sneaking off, not even telling the lads like that.
Yeah.
I was going home, and I'd be going home sniffing a load of white, and then just
Just carrying on.
carrying on like yeah.
Fuck me, man.
Yeah, talking to myself and all. Madness. I'm laughing now, but it wasn't a nice time back then. I was so depressed. I was just in such a dark place like that.
Just going to work, coming home, doing the same thing every day.
I was stuck
and
in a
just-
rut, like basically. I was basically stuck in a rut, just numb. I was numb, like. Oh, that song, Comfortably Numb.
Yeah.
That's me.
Madness.
That was me. I was comfortable being numb, like.
It must be weird for you now. Like, I know it's 3.5 years, not a long time, but it is a long time to be off all the stuff you're off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In that term, it's a long time. But realistically, 3.5 years, Asher, it's not that long. Do you
It's
know what I
not,
mean?
yeah, it's not that
But
long,
it must
yeah.
be mad for you to look back and be like, who the fuck was that? Who was that?
What?
Like, you must look back at videos that we all have or photographs that lads put in the group
Photographs, yeah.
and just be like, who the fuck was that bloke?
Like,
Because I do it all the time.
Yeah, no, it's
I do
mad.
it all the time with me. Like,
Yeah. There's a photograph. I think we were in the Hound. Me, O'Shane and Berto.
yeah,
And I'm leaning on O'Shane's shoulder there, holding a couple of shots
Yeah.
like that. Hey, big fat face, and I was like, what the?
just bloated
When
like from
was
all
I
the
that
drugs.
bad? Like, I couldn't even remember that. Like, I don't even remember that night.
Yeah,
And then sometimes I'd be going home and I'd be waking up like just, what did I do last night? It wasn't even like what happened last night. It was like, what did I do last night?
yeah.
And couldn't even remember heading home sometimes.
It's gas. It's mad how life is now for you.
Yeah, no, sure. I was out there in Bad Bob's there last weekend, sober, and had the time of my life.
Was that the first time you've
Great
been
crack.
like out?
In a nightclub, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
You had COVID, so you wouldn't have been anywhere. In fairness,
Yeah, see,
were locked
I was
down, so-
kind of lucky there. Well, not lucky, but I wasn't missing that when I was off it.
Yeah.
Because everywhere shut down, like, so nobody was able to do it, and so I just got on with it.
because I know a big thing that happened during COVID. People that were trying to stay clean ended
Yeah,
up
started using.
relapsing because
Yeah.
they were locked in a house on their fucking own. Like, you know,
Yeah. Now,
I was worried about you on COVID. You probably remember the amount of text messages you
I
got.
know,
on me.
yeah, no.
The amount of
fair
texts
few,
I used to
no.
send you.
I
All
was
right, how you
grand though,
getting on?
I was all right though. A year, I was clean a year, and then during COVID was when I met my now wife Helen, and met her through Tinder, and it was Tinder worked for me.
Yeah.
But she's been like a breath of fresh air to me life.
Yeah.
Love her so much, and I can't thank her enough for what she's done to me and what she's done for me, how she makes me feel. Just being the man I am now is all because of her.
Just waiting for that right person, that's all, Pen.
That's what it
You
was.
were just waiting for that right person.
That's it. And she was just 5,000 miles away. But
she was just over in Brazil.
yeah. I know. She came over to Ireland 2018, and then to see her friend, learn English, and then she fell in love with a ginger Irishman. And now she's stuck.
Poor girl.
Poor girl, yeah. Now she's stuck here.
She hadn't a bleeding clue she's at the doing.
Yeah.
The fucking.
She's
with
she
the
knows.
Blanche Butcher.
She
She's
knows
with the Blanche
what
Butcher
she's
now.
doing. She knows what she's doing.
She's with the butcher now. No, fair play.
I'm a test for her, so
I still haven't met her. Not
I
bad,
know,
isn't it?
yeah, I know.
You know, we had
no
COVID.
one really
Everything
has,
was
like,
fucking locked down.
everything was just mad, like, but
Isn't it mad with our mates? Like I only met Pud's girlfriend there last year. during
I
the summer
haven't still, yeah.
when we were down his house.
Oh, yeah.
Because he
I
lives
was
down
supposed
the country.
to
Like,
drop up that day, yeah. It was at,
that was the first time.
Westlife.
But it wasn't the first time I met her. I've met her a couple of times before that, but never
Yeah.
really got to know her or anything like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you say you were at Westlife?
Yeah, one of the best concerts I've ever been to in my life.
Deadly.
Swear to God, man.
I'll tell Nicky the next time I
Me
see
and
him.
Horde went to the Aviva, yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Fucking one of the best concerts I was ever at.
Jesus.
Swear to God, it
I'll
was
tell
deadly
Nicky next
crack.
time.
Deadly
Next
crack.
time I'll see Nicky.
I know,
I'll get the fucking video,
yeah.
but it's mad with our mates. Like, we could go fucking years without seeing each other.
Yeah.
And then when you bump into each other, it's like,
yeah, old times, like,
you're like you're 15 again.
Crack, like,
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
Like, you just revert to that boy from Ladies
Isn't it
Wear,
mad?
like, you know.
I'm not like that with anyone else. I'm not like that with anyone else.
Yeah.
No one else.
Yeah.
Like, when I bump into people that I knew of, like other mates that I used to pal around with, I get real awkward around them, and I don't know what to
Really?
talk about, and I'm just kind of
that's
like,
mad.
good seeing you, man.
Yeah. Oh,
And
I
then
know
I'm
what
just
you mean.
gone.
I know what you mean. Sorry. Yeah.
But when I
yeah.
bump into you boys, it's completely different.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not like that with anyone else apart from from all of us.
It's like, because
strange.
we all grew up together.
Well,
we all know
went
how
through-
to act around
we all
each
went
other.
through
like.
so much fucking
Yeah,
shite
yeah,
together. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, big fucking right there, man. Jesus.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we've had a fucking million
Was-
lifetimes in one.
Yeah, easily.
You know, the amount of fucking shite we've been through.
Like, there
but like,
was shy times, but there was some great times.
come on.
Deadly times.
Half of the stuff I can't talk about on
Deadly
this
times,
podcast.
I know, yeah.
Do you know the
deadly
amount of times, like, when me and Ev, right, so when he comes, we're so unorganised, you know, we would just be like, right, what are we talking about today or whatever? I'd be like, I don't know. And probably about 10 minutes before we even start recording, we're like, let's just talk about this. So we'll just see where the conversation goes. Yeah.
Deadly.
And half of the time he'll turn around and say, well, why don't we talk about this? And I'm like, I can't talk about that because I'll end up saying something that'll get someone else in trouble.
Yeah, I know what
Because
you
we've
mean.
been around some amount of fucking shy. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm a completely different person now, but like back then, like, we used to get up to some fucking absolute shenanigans, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And half of the stuff I'm like, Ev, I can't talk about this. So I'll
Can't
have to
talk
stop the
about it.
podcast, be like, here,
Yeah.
look, I'm not able to mention that without mentioning him. And if I mention him, then this happens.
That's it.
So we have to just start
exactly,
again. Like,
exactly,
it's a fucking pain in the
Yeah, it's
hole.
mad.
It's a pain in the hole. Whoever came up with the concept, let's talk about growing up and everything in between.
Yeah.
Fucking idiots. Can't talk
Can't
about
talk
Anne.
about anything. Get people in trouble.
Like, you fucking hear on this podcast, like, I'm sure Rex your head every time the two of us are talking. It's like, well, look, I won't mention his name, but
I'm here.
every time.
I know who it is. I know who that is, yeah. Say it.
I'm
Tell
gonna
the
ring
story.
them.
Tell
I'm
the
gonna
story.
ring them.
Yeah. Tell the story. Go on.
Happens every
It's
time.
funny. It's funny.
Yeah, do you remember that? I talked about it on this. I won't mention his name, but you remember when Yoke got his knees stuck in the fucking fence? Remember you sent me the voice note?
Yeah. I was listening to that podcast and
amount of
I was
fucking-
breaking me shy laughing.
The
I
amount
was
of
like,
messages we got about that.
that
Who
was
it?
deadly.
I'll
No, I
never
really
tell.
have
I'll
it.
never tell.
Ah, man, that was fucking one of the best days.
But I swear, I wasn't making it up, man. He got
And
his
the
knees
Dean
caught in
fella
it. Standing on the fence trying to pull it off. It won't lift because you're standing at it, you dick. Then he got the Mickey droppers and put on the Mickey droppers on him.
Fuck.
Ripped his jeans open.
Jesus.
Put fucking oil, butter, everything got rubbed on his knees. His knees wouldn't come out to the fire brigade, had to come. And that railing's still there.
Still has the fucking
still has the
thing
bumps on
spread
it.
apart. Gas, man. Oh, that was gas that day.
Fucking hell.
We used to get a few times, yeah. And was it me and you? Remember we went down to the Cardiff Pat and we found the bleeding moped.
The Honda 50?
And we
the
rallied
Cub,
up the park.
90. Yeah, the Cub
up
90.
the park, like
Yeah.
me, you and someone else. It was one of the young fellas.
Me, you and Chips.
Chips it was,
Me, you
yeah,
and Chips.
yeah,
Me, you
yeah.
and Chips.
But that was
because
fucking gas.
do you remember
Up the backfield.
we found it first. We sniffed it out.
Yeah.
We sniffed the petrol. And we were like,
Yeah.
I fucking smell petrol.
Yeah.
There's a bike
Where
here.
where
And we got it.
were we heading to?
I don't know.
Even
Haven't
over the
a clue.
Cardiff?
Because it was about
for something.
it was about 8:30 in the morning. It was
Yeah,
before
it
school.
was very early.
Because do you remember we knocked up to work
Yeah.
and he was hanging out the box room window and he's like,
Yeah.
"What are you doing? I have to go to school." And we're like, "We're after finding a motorbike.
Yeah,
Come on!"
yeah.
And he was like, "Right, come on, I'll meet you there." Do you
Yeah,
remember?
yeah.
And the four of us got on it then,
Remember that? Yeah. it was
baiting up the
fucking-
Cardiff Pat.
Yeah.
Remember
mad.
the time you were going across the fucking road at the
Going
centre
across the centre, yeah.
in front of your ma's car? Do
Can't
you remember? And you
remember.
came clean off the bike right in front of her
Ah, fuck.
on the fucking Aprilia rally.
Fucking Jimmy Big Balls, man. Like,
Fuck.
I'll take across.
I'll do that.
I'll do it, no matter. Got
hit the
across,
steel bar.
panicked, fucking hit the bar, revved it, boom, bounced off the bar, went underneath it, jumped back up, down the valley, man. Ah,
That's fucking gas that was. I'll never forget
Fucking
that.
gas.
And it took us about 2 hours to get it up that hill. Do you remember where we
Yeah,
found it?
yeah.
Remember we found it on the
in
little valley?
the bleeding
Yeah.
forest, yeah.
Fuck
And
me, man.
was it you who was kicking it for bleeding ages?
Yeah.
Come on, sir.
I wouldn't give up. I
Here they
wouldn't
go,
give up.
like, oh, it's gone. Then
I knew it was gonna go.
I was like, yes, we got it. Where? Loads of standing around, yeah.
I
and
wouldn't give
cheering.
up, man. I wouldn't give up. I was
Ah,
like,
it
this
was
thing's going
deadly.
to start. I'm telling yous.
Yeah.
Yous were all leaving. No, it's not going to
Yeah,
start.
no,
I said, just give me 5
We
more
were all
kicks.
ready to go because I think it was starting to bleed and rain.
Yeah, it sent
something
piss down.
was, and we were like, yeah, fuck it, man.
I knew that was coming.
Just leave it in the bush, like. It isn't even ours.
Absolutely not.
Don't know who owns it even.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tell you what, man, I'd love a little moped now. I do see lads flying around and be like, oh, yeah, do a
On the
rip one of
scooter as
them.
well? Or the
No, a moped. Love a little
electric?
moped.
Oh, moped.
Yeah, a little Aprilia rally or something.
Yeah,
Ooh,
be deadly.
baby.
Deadly.
Be
yeah.
crazy. I'd
Be
love it.
gas, alright.
She'd kill me if I came. Oh, she'd kill me if I fucking came home here in a moped.
Yeah. I know, sure. My dad always said, if you ever come home here on something like that, I'll beat you. He hates him
Yeah,
because
so dangerous.
he had an accident himself.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, when he was 18.
No
he
way.
came off and bleeding tore his whole leg, yeah. That's
Jesus.
some a giant scar he has on his
Yeah.
leg, yeah.
Jesus.
I think you have to get something like 100 stitches up his leg or something.
Fuck
Yeah,
me.
something like that, yeah. It was
to
like,
rip the
do you know
bloody
where the
cocaine
cream art is in Finglas?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just coming out there on a Honda. It would have been a Honda 50 because
Yeah.
it was during the 60s. So
Yeah.
shout out
Little
Jim.
Wapayoke.
How old you are there?
Shout out, Jim.
Yeah.
Happy 96th birthday.
yeah, yeah, and some chap just creamed him, took him off the bleeding
Fuck me.
bike. Yeah.
Is your man dad
And he
still in Lays
hated-
already?
Yeah, still there. Yeah,
Still there?
Yeah, same gaff. Yeah.
What's it like down there now? Is it quiet now? Like, is it
what
still
you mean?
quiet?
in-
Is it quiet
Oh,
still?
I
or-
think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I only drop in every now and then, but
Yeah, I haven't been in Lays in a long
yeah,
time.
yeah, I know, but I never see that now. But
No hassle anymore, like up there.
not really. She hasn't had any hassle or that, like so.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's quiet enough up there. I think,
yeah,
now.
quiet enough.
Before
now,
I
like.
even moved out there, it was starting to get a bit quiet.
Yeah.
The odd rob car here and there, and that was it.
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
That
That's
was
it.
Do you remember the time Halloween I talked about it on the podcast? Do
Loads.
you remember that night?
Every single one of them you were saying.
Do you
I was
remember
like, there was New Year's, Halloween, Paddy's Day, every single
The big events of the
every
year.
special thing, man. Just hear the car going, oh, it's a car, quick!
Most of them,
And we were
like,
out the door, like,
most of them nights, like the Halloweens and the New Year's, when all the lads were still alive. All
That
the
was
older
just
lads were
like
still
madness,
alive.
like madness.
See that video that was doing the rounds? Remember we were talking about
The
on
Joyride
this?
one, yeah,
the one
yeah.
over in
Cherry Orchard, yeah.
Stuff that happened in Laysville was a million times worse than that.
Million times worse.
I thought the guards were going to be killed that night. Do you remember that night where the bricks were going through the windows and all?
Yeah.
I think I threw a little glass bottle as well.
Yeah. No, and I remember like they were parked up at the park. They were going after. Think they were going after someone else, one of the older lads, and other chaps fucking smashed the car up. Two coppers ran out of the car. And it got pelted with break bottles, fucking got smashed up to bits. Like.
Shouldn't be laughing, but fuck, mate.
I know,
like, the
shouldn't
stuff
laugh,
that happened up there is
but
crazy.
people just didn't give a fuck, like.
Yeah.
Didn't give a fuck back then. But it was
Do you
gas.
think, like, you do see on the media, like on radio or, you know, all that stuff, like, seeing the papers that they're saying, like, young people now are worse than they were back in, like, the mid-noughties? They're not.
Well,
they're not half as bad.
I can see, like, where
see
they're
what you mean.
coming from.
Yeah, of course.
With the shootings and all. Like, only children shot, man. It's crazy,
but they're doing it now with social media. Do you know what I mean? Like that's what they're doing it for now, which is we're all seeing it a lot more now. Where when it used to happen in Ladieswell and Corduff and Fort,
it wasn't seen at all. It wasn't
seen.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? It wasn't reported on because they didn't care. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like,
it was far worse back then.
Do you remember the time they drove the car into the fire on Halloween night? Like,
straight in the middle of it.
Straight into the middle of the bonfire.
In the middle of a bonfire, got out and walked off.
Walked away. I was like, what the fuck's going on?
It's a Nissan Bluebird it was, and I forget.
Yeah.
Whopper, yo.
That was gas.
Because it was parked. Do you remember where the boys used to keep the cars for Halloween?
Yeah.
Remember they used to keep them stashed off at the side of the wall there, just behind where Chips lives. Remember they?
Yeah.
Just behind the green box. So they used to pack two cars there. So there was a red Bluebird
Halloween, like,
and a Bluebird.
Yeah,
and that's when they had the big base built out of all the pallets.
All the pallets was deadly. That.
Yeah, and they just drove the Bluebird, drove straight through the fucking middle.
That was actually where
just get out, alright, and fucks off like.
That base was actually where I first started hash.
Was it really?
In that base it was, yeah.
That was like a granny flip.
And I'll always associate Halloween with alcohol because that was the first time I proper drank.
Yeah.
And I got locked on four fucking
blue wickets.
Cans of Budweiser, man. I was locked, and I remember Gork and Mark carried me home to the gaff. I was stumbling, absolutely locked too, sober. And he left me at the fence and knocked on me door and ran off. And the outfit walks out. What the fuck is going on? I'm there.
Only had four.
Couldn't even talk. And he was like, "Get in here, you tick."
Fucking gas.
I'll never forget that wankers, man. Left me there, knocked and legged it like wankers. Say they were laughing all the way down the road. He said, "Dope." Can only imagine the Smith fella. Fucking hell.
Nah, he was a fucko and he was a cunt for the jokes like that. He was.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, any jokes? Any jokes?
I have a few jokes, but they're not mine. They're from my brother.
Shout out Kel.
Kel, yeah. They're not actually.
I'm taking it from Kel, not Brian. No.
Kel, yeah.
Shout out Kel.
They're not actually that good. Wait a minute, where is it?
They have to be better than bleeding Flynn the Windies. Fuck me. He comes with some stinkers. I don't even think he had jokes last week.
No. He hadn't. Right. He sent me three of them, right?
Go on.
Said one, what do you call a hippie's wife?
Go on.
Mississippi. That's right.
Fuck off.
Mississippi. What's the difference between an outlaw and an in-law?
Go on.
Outlaws are wanted.
That's a good one.
And then this last joke, Kel's, it's from Kel, not me, okay?
He doesn't want to get cancelled.
Yeah. I never knew what happiness was until I got married. And then it was too late.
Shout out Danielle and Helen.
Yeah, it's Kel's fault.
Yeah, we love you.
That's what that joke was.
We love you. We love you.
Yeah, no, that's all. And that's basically best of my jokes.
But yeah, look, they're better than fucking Flynn the Windy's non-existent jokes.
I
The little wanker.
actually have one more.
Go on.
I heard it years ago, but I think it's good. Like,
Go on.
what did the leper say to the sex worker?
Fuck off. Go on.
Keep the tip. Oh man.
Oh my God.
Okay. I heard that a while ago. Yeah, I love that. That's deadly, man.
This man's gonna get us cancelled.
I actually think I threw them fucking into the group as well. Not sure if he did, but
James
stop.
Pennie, the Blanche Butcher. Man, I appreciate you for coming up.
Yeah,
Cheers for
no
that.
bother. Always wanted
Because
to
it was late notice.
come up for the chat. Yeah,
Or
so-
short notice, I should say. Sorry, short
yeah.
notice.
Always
Appreciate it.
wanted to get on, so
Yeah, man, I'd love having you.
appreciate you having me.
Try get the Ricky fella on next. Have
Yeah,
to try coax him
he'll
up
have
here.
some stories.
I know.
Yeah.
He's a little
He
fucker
would-
though.
Yeah.
He's a little fucker try to get a hold of. He's always busy.
Yeah.
He's always out here
Oh,
hustling.
he's flat out.
He's always busy.
I actually out with him there on Sunday for golf.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Who won?
My mate Mark.
Fuck off, Mark.
Yeah. I came second and Ricky was third.
You only came second?
Yeah.
Dirty
Always
boy.
come
You
second.
dirty boy. You dirty boy.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I really do, man. I appreciate coming up and sharing a bit of the
Yeah.
personal stuff,
Appreciate
you know?
you having me, man. Yeah.
It's nice to have you up. It's nice to chat to someone my own
That's
age.
it.
Bar fucking Flynn the Windy.
I know, yeah.
Didn't scroll. And it's nice to get a word in. That fella will be bleeding.
He's non-stop, isn't he?
He's non-stop, that fella. I might actually sack him from the podcast, I know.
Yeah.
You free, eh?
I'm free every Wednesday.
Oh.
No, but
Might get rid of him. But yeah, this has been Gobsmack with me, ROC.
and JP.
Oh, baby. This is the podcast we talk about growing up and everything in between. And we'll catch us next week. Hopefully, fucking lazy Flynn will be back off having babies, lazy bastard. But anyway, congratulations to him and Dib and my little baby Kaylin and little Bruce. I'm going to get Barley at the bathroom.
Yeah.